afternoon, good evening. Um, Alderman Willridge, you want to lead us in a prayer, please, sir?
Let our Heavenly Father head and close our eyes. Our Heavenly Father, we come to you right now, my Father, to say thank you. Thanking you, my Father, because you allowed all of us to see another day. Then we thank you, my Father, because you kept your loving arms of protection around us as we maneuver during the day. We bless this meeting, my Father. We ask that we do things decent and in order, my Father. But most of all, my Father, we want to thank you that we can make the right decisions for the city product, my Father. We ask all this in your daughter's son, Jesus Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, sir. The pledge, Mr. Bandy, you want to lead us in the pledge? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. As usual, we'll start with Public Works. Alderman Dorey, it's your show, sir. Oh, okay. We'll give you 3 seconds to compose yourself in that seat.
All right, I will open Public Works and let the record show that a quorum is present. First on our agenda is Public Works Director Albert John.
Good afternoon. For the first time in a while, I do not have a large piece of equipment to tell you is down. Sweeper's working, all the tractors. We got our I-10 tractor back, wastewater got their tractor back. Now, the last 30 minutes of the day, I can't tell you that nothing popped up, but that's how that stands right now. Back to mosquito control. We're continuing to spray twice a week, the whole city. Last week, we were actually able to get out 4 nights. That was probably the first time in 4 weeks. What happens, I watch the weather every day, and it changes. I mean, I can see a percentage at noon, and all of a sudden at 3 o'clock, we can get out. So when we can't, what we do is we spray the whole city in 2 nights, and then if it looks like we have 2 more nights that we can't, the night we can get out, we spray the whole city. So we're covering it twice a week. So, and as long as we don't get any storms, we should be okay.
Ooh, let's cross our fingers.
Any questions?
I hadn't seen a single mosquito, so y'all are doing something.
Don't say that.
They'll be here tonight.
It can change. It can change. As soon as it gets dark, it can change and be that way for a while.
Yeah.
So we still got at least 10, maybe 11 weeks to go, and we're actually probably in the peak from the middle of July to the middle of September. We get in there. So, barring any bad weather and a lot of rain, that's helped. That it's really been dry, and the farmers have cut their rice. Those fields are dry. Now they'll start trying to hold water come another month, getting ready for crawfish season. So, we'll have a little activity, if nothing else then. So, any other questions? All right. Thank you.
If there are no other questions, we thank you very much. I said thank you very much. All right, next is City Engineer, Mr. Tim Mader.
Thank you, Jeff. I have no action items. I think you have my report with updates. I'll be glad to answer any questions you have now or any time later.
Well, if there's nothing to ask Mr. Mader, then we will move on, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next is Street Commissioner Wesley Jacob.
Hello, how y'all doing? I hate to do it, but I gotta be the bearer of bad news. Albert spoke too soon. At the end of the day, we bust the hose on the excavator, and the street sweeper is starting to run hot. So we can't do the full city like we do, but we get it in spots. Other than that, everything else is routine, grass, ditches, trees, everything is on schedule. We're not as fast as we like to be, but we are being persistent. We had a major pipeline bust on First and Avenue L. There was a catch basin on the corner that we had to remove. A 6-inch main that was underneath it, broke it, but Loco came out today, got everything fixed, and it was starting to backfill today. So we're gonna have to fix the road. We had to break the road a little bit, but we got that back under control. Everything else is really normal. It's hot. The only thing we're really paying for right now is water. I gotta buy a lot of water, but with everything considering, everything is good.
Very good. Any questions for Mr. Wesley?
Wesley, what was happening on 3rd and K? They broke into the sidewalk, they blocked it off?
That's,
Natural gas.
oh, I thought that was the
pretty
water. They got a water leak. Well, that's the water leak is on 2nd and L, so
Yeah.
K is gas.
I think it's a gas line they were repairing. Yeah. It's not the street department that was doing it, so,
They busted up really early and they got it fixed already.
yeah.
I didn't see any things on the road.
Yeah,
No
I don't
idea
know.
it actually down by my house.
Was it yellow markings or, okay, that's natural gas.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Anything else? If not, thank you, Wesley.
Okay.
And,
Excuse me. Sir, we cannot have gas-powered equipment inside the building. I'm gonna have to ask you to take that outside. It's not safe to have gas-powered equipment inside the building.
Well, that's that crazy man.
Yes, sir. We can't have gas-powered equipment inside the building. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Doré, go ahead.
Yes. All right. If there are no further items to come before us, then we will recess.
Thank you, sir. All right, let's see. Utility Committee, Alderwoman Marks, please.
Thank you, Mayor. I call the Utility Committee to order. We do have a quorum. At this time, we'll hear from Tim Crater. Yeah, I don't see he's here.
Nope, he didn't, he was
Okay.
not able, he wasn't sure if he was going to be able to get here this evening, but
Okay, that's
he
good.
didn't
Well,
make it.
then we'll go on to hear from City Engineer Tim Mater.
Easy. Ditto what I said about Public Works Committee. No action items and updates that I can discuss with you now or later.
Thank you, Mr. Mater. We have no action items to present at this time, and so we'll close the meeting.
Thank you, ma'am. Let's see, Recreation, Alderman Ashby, please.
Thank you, Mayor. We will call the Recreation Committee to order. We do have a quorum. First up will be Recreation Director Zach Duyon.
Good evening. Couple of quick updates about our fall leagues. Our tennis league registration opens tomorrow, and it'll be open until September 10th. The first matches for the tennis league will be September 22nd. And then for our soccer and football, the registration is open until next Friday, which is August 22nd. As of now, in soccer, we have 71 registered for U6, 67 registered for U8, 37 for U10, and 18 for U12. And then for our our minor flag football, we have 44 registrations, and for Pee Wee, we have 64. So typically, the way that it's gone in the last year and a half is the last week to 2 weeks, we'll probably see a double in registration. And last year, we were about at 180 for football, we're at 110, and we're right at the cusp for soccer as well. So, and then I wanted to thank Wesley. I know he went outside, but wanted to thank Wesley and the street crew for the part that they played in getting the benches anchored down into the fresh concrete at the MLK Park. They finished that today, so I went by before the council meeting, and everything looks good, and just wanted to make sure that I thank Wesley and the street crew for that.
Thank you. Anybody has any questions for Zach? All right, thank you, Zach.
Thank you all for your time.
Next up, City Engineer Tim Mater.
Same old, I have no action items. I was hoping you'd be kinder to me than you have in the past when I had nothing to say, but,
You look really nice tonight.
oh, thank you. Hey, that was too kind.
Well, with no action items to come before the committee,
Chuck,
Rick?
hold on just a second. Before you recess,
Okay.
I know that we have one of the proposals here this evening. I don't know if they want to speak. We did put out an advertisement for qualified proposals for the Recreation Department's concession operation. We got back five different proposals, and we're going to start that process of going through them and interviewing and kind of seeing which ones are the best option for the city going forward. So we'll start that process here over the next week, and I will bring it back to the council next week to we can decide who we want to go with. Any questions or anything, feel free to give me a call or come by and visit.
Anything that y'all wanted to add? No. All right, well, thank y'all for being here. If there's nothing else to come before the Recreation Committee will recess.
Thank you, sir. Zoning annexation, Alderman Reggie, please, sir.
Thanks. I'm not used to starting at 10 minutes after 5. I do have a quorum. I will start with Mr. Mater, which I'm going to probably guess is ditto.
Good guess.
Good guess. All right.
Thank you.
Okay, and I don't have any action items or any discussion items. Anything for zoning and annexation? I will recess.
Thank you, sir. Public safety, Alderman Core,
Thank you, Mayor.
please.
I'd like to call to order the Public Safety Committee. We have a quorum present with all members. We'll begin with reports. Chief of Police Troy Hebert is absent, but he did provide his monthly July 2025 report, and he asked me to read the following. In the month of July, the officers had 806 calls for service. Our batteries and burglaries have extremely dropped, which we only had 2 burglaries for the month, which is an all-time low. Our weapons offenses are down. We had 9 of those and made 8 arrests. We had 24 drug arrests for the month. Our thefts are still high. We had 79 thefts, and that is very concerning. We are hoping for the possibility of getting that number lower by bringing our jail back in the future due to the rise in numbers of this particular offense. In regard to traffic, there were 1,159 citations issued on the TED program, and 70 citations were given by patrol officers. And that will complete his report. Next, we'll go to Fire Chief Luis Romero, who I believe is present.
So good afternoon, Council. You got 2 reports. You got June and July, and they're not in order. So we go with June. We had 74 calls for June, of which 10 was hazardous conditions, 33 EMS and rescue calls, 13 false alarms, 6 fires, 6 good intent calls, and 6 service calls, for a total response time of 2 minutes and 55 seconds. And in 2025, as of the end of June, we ran 376 calls. Fast forward to July, we ran 58 calls, of which 5 was hazardous conditions, 36 EMS calls, 7 false alarms, 7 fires, 2 good intent calls, 1 service call, with an average response time of 3 minutes and 21 seconds. And so far, at the end of June, we ran 434 calls. At the end of your packet, this document is still work in progress. 2 months ago, we discussed about the calls that we're running. We're getting close to that 730 at the end of the year. Councilmember Morton contacted someone with Acadian, and the Acadian ambulance notified me, and me and the mayor went meet with Troy Goche. What's his last name? Guidry, I'm sorry, Guidry. And Toby, I don't know Toby's last name. And we talked, met with 911, and I have not met with MedExpress. I've reached out several times to meet with MedExpress, and I tried again today, and it still has not the meeting came to happen. But this is what, whenever we decide to initiate this policy, it's going to go effectively on the midnight of whatever date we pick. And this is the type of calls we're going to go on. Crashes with injuries, crashes with unknown injuries, crashes with flipped vehicles, crash with no injuries but hazards. And then the EMS calls we could go on is going to be breathing problems, cardiac arrest, chest pains, heart problems, electrocutions, choking, drowning, unconscious, collapsed patients, major trauma with bleeding, a fall from greater than 6 feet, and a stroke. We will no longer respond to facilities that is staffed with medical personnel, such as nursing homes, dialysis centers, doctor's office, dentist's office, etc., with the exception of a cardiac arrest. If they need assistance in performing CPR and they contact us, we'll respond to that. And then it gives you a little bit of information about all of our units are equipped with AEDs, and if the call goes directly to the ambulance service, if they need us to respond to these type of calls, they got to notify Acadian 911 Center, and then they would dispatch the fire department. So this is still work in progress, but just to give you an update of where we at right now. If you got any questions, y'all can ask me or whatever. Update. North Crowley should be, the renovations to North Crowley should be finished, and they should be able to move in by the end of next week. I'm waiting on mattresses to come in for the beds. Furniture is going to be picked up Friday. So any questions?
Mr. Martin.
Okay, Chief, who does the final review of timing and on the call, as well as the actual, well, I guess the whole call in itself? Do you review the finals, or is it by the captain in charge, or who does that?
So I'm not.
In other words, when there's a call out,
Uh-huh.
and there's a certain method that goes out, who does the final review as far as timing of being there and the procedure of what happened? Is that on your desk, or does the captain in charge?
So the district chief does the
Yeah.
report.
Okay,
The information that I give you every month
Okay.
about what time the call came in, what time they arrived on scene.
Right.
That's all recorded over radio traffic.
Okay.
That when they get back to the station, they look up the times
okay,
the recordings.
Okay.
And they put that on the report. Each report, not EMS reports,
Okay,
because they automatically get sent with the new system we have. But any fire alarm, any structure fire, any vehicle crashes, I got to look over the report, accept the report, and send the report into a batch that gets sent to, used to be the fire marshal's office, it's not the fire marshal's office no more. It gets sent directly to the National Emergency Reporting System in Baltimore.
okay. All right. Now, if I may, thank you for that. Let's get back to this Med Express. I don't know who was on the council at the time when they came to the city of Crowley wanting to come in. And I was one that was vehemently against them coming in. First of all, if you look into it, it wasn't the city of Crowley that brought them here, it was the police jury, okay? And they have, to, from talking to certain people, they have an understanding. You have to excuse me, it's time for me to take another breathing treatment, but they, from what I'm talking to, their people, they think they don't have to report to the city of Crowley, okay? Hence what you just said. Now, here's the fire chief asking them for information, okay? Now, and I'm gonna say it like it is. I've dealt with them in Evangeline Parish, okay? Where they were actually thrown out of Evangeline Parish for not doing their job, okay? And their timing was off. But anyway, through the mayor and also with the Acadian Ambulance. And just to be transparent here, at the time I was consulting for Acadian Ambulance. Okay, I want to make that clear. And basically, we had them on the phone and the mayor at the time, and there was a whole lot of rigmarole on saying this and saying that. They even had in occasions where people didn't even get paid from these people, okay? And I was the one that told them, if I have anything to do with it, y'all not coming through the city of Crowley. So what they done, they went to the parish. And I had one of them, I don't know who he was, but they had answered a call in Westwood, and he told me straight up. He said, man, we don't report to the city of Crowley. We report to the police jury. Who that little dude was, I have no idea. It was something that happened in Westwood. This was a few years ago. So I'm saying like it is, it's time for them to go, okay? I'm no longer consulting for Acadian Ambulance. I'm consulting for my people. And, I mean, there were times where they just didn't do their job, okay? It is what it is. And here we have our police chief that's trying to get business straight to stay at a number 2 rating. And how many times, Chief, if I ask, how many times have you reached out to these people?
So I've reached out to Mr. Jared Moe, and he had shoulder surgery, so he was out.
Okay.
I've reached out to, I can't remember the guy's name, I got his name. He was one of the supervisors.
Okay.
I reached out to him, and I left a message. Last week I called, left a message, and today in the mayor's office, I called and left another message, and I told Jared Moe, I've tried to reach out to you several times.
Right.
Can you please call me back? And I just want to meet with them and tell them this is what we're doing.
Right.
You know, I've got to. I understand I want to help our citizens in the time
Right.
of need, but I also got to understand. We've got to understand that if we go over 730 calls,
It's a whole
it's
different.
gonna cost the city about $150,000 extra dollars that week. I know the fire department.
Right.
I know the fire department.
Plug yours in.
Well, being what you just said,
I know the fire department, they got an extra $150,000 laying around.
hey, but that's, so I'm asking this council that we bring whoever this guy is. I met, when they first wanted to come to Crowley, I met with these people at the time it wasn't Sharon's Cafe, it was another owner of the cafe. And we had it out then. And I explained to them, look, after he found out who I was and whatever, it was like, oh, so you against us being here. I said, I'm not against you being anywhere. I'm against the fact that you're not doing your job. And this guy told me straight up. He said, well, we don't need y'all anyway. We don't need to see the Crowley. I said, okay. And here we are. If you look at how they got here, the police jury brought them here. Now, Mayor, I think you was on the fire department then. We had a problem with them being in the location where they was for the simple reason when there was an emergency, if it's 2 o'clock in the morning, they were glaring the sirens out, waking up the citizens. And we told them, that's not a place we don't want y'all being in the residential area. Guess what? Went through the police jury. And there they go. So I'm just telling y'all like it is, and I'm not trying to be offsetting anybody's duties or what have you, but if you're not doing your job, it's time for you to go, because they're looking at us. And Chief, I don't remember straight up, but I think we had a conversation about them being in the location where they was. Because they were supposed to, and Mayor, like I said, I believe you was on the, still with the fire department. They were supposed to, if there was an emergency, not to glare those sirens until they was on Parkinson. And what people, you remember that? And for what I'm understanding, they got people around that say, look, man, they wake us up 3 or 4 in the morning. You know?
That must have, Councilmember Morton, that must have been the last fire chief, because me and you never had that conversation.
No, I'm just saying.
Okay.
I knew it was a few years ago.
Yeah,
So-
that was something that
Right, but I just
came
want
through
to
the
bring that
council.
up.
Just to let y'all know, to update the council, last Monday, last Monday and Tuesday, we went through rating. So I will get results back, hopefully, first part of October. But on my side, I think everything looked as best as it could look. So,
Great. I think Dr. Marks had a question.
I just have a question for Councilman Martin. Does the Katy Parish Police Jury, are they aware that this entity is supposed to be answering and they're communicating are they taking care of business with this EMS people?
The only thing I can tell you, Doc, is the fact that unless Byron have another method of getting it, I'll call our representative. I don't get no answers back. So I don't know, Byron, I don't know how it is with you, but for whatever it is, our representative don't call me back. So I'm gonna put it that way. I don't know what's going on, but he do not respond to me.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, welcome.
Okay, any other questions or comments? And we'll move on to City Inspector Tony Duhon, who is absent, and Mayor, I didn't get a report from him.
I didn't either. I called him this afternoon, and he is homesick. He did go home sick today. I can take this opportunity, though, since we're on the city inspector. I have visiting here this evening Mr. Marty Duracell, who will, with all of your approval and vote next week, will begin the job of taking over that position. Tony will be officially retired September 12th, and Mr. Marty will take over that position effective September 2nd. Of course, with y'all's approval next week, but Mr. Marty, if you want to say hello to the council, you're welcome to let them know who you are, maybe, or
Background?
yes, sir.
Yes, thank you, Mayor, Council, for allowing me to be here. So a little bit about me really quickly. Retired law enforcement, ordained licensed minister in the state of Louisiana, dad of 2 boys, grandfather of 2 incredible grandkids, driven by challenge, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity to meet all of you and work shoulder to shoulder with you to see if we can get some change in Crowley and make people jealous of us here for a change, right?
Yes, that would
He
be
ain't
great,
jealous
Marty.
right now, I can tell you that.
We have plenty of work to do for you.
Yes.
Thank
So I just asked Mr. Marty to come over this evening so y'all can meet him. and be able to, you're welcome to call. I'm sure he'll be happy to take your phone calls over the next week if y'all want to talk with him, visit with him or whatever, so y'all can make your decision next week. But I'm confident that Mr. Marty is gonna be the right person for that job. He came by and visited with the ladies in code enforcement today, and he'll be learning the ropes. He's ready to go. He says he's ready for it. I hope he is. He came highly recommended. I'll tell you, the mayor of Scott, I don't know if he's trying to get rid of him in Scott or what, but he doesn't work for the city of Scott, but the mayor in Scott gave a recommendation and said that if he had a position open, he'd hire him immediately for the city of Scott. So, and of course, the sheriff's office, Lafayette Sheriff's Office, gave good recommendation on him. So he's retired, like he said, law enforcement, and he's a God-fearing man. So I think he'll be good in the position.
Well, one thing,
Thank you,
you ain't
Mayor.
gonna have lack of work, I can promise you that.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what he's looking for.
You got that?
All right, thank you, Mayor. Next, we'll move on to action items. We have a new application for a 2025 Class A retail beer and a Class A retail liquor permit for Winter Circle, located Silver Investments and Corp. LLC, located at 2816 East Hargrave Street. We have the application in your packet. Everything appears to be in order and signed, and I would like to move to approve this application. We have a second. We have a second by Jeff. Okay. Any discussion? Mr. Reggie abstains. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have a new 2025 Class A retail beer and a Class A retail liquor permit for City Bar, CB Crowley LLC. Location is 102 North Avenue F. And you have the application in your packets, and everything appears to be in order. And I would like to move for approval. We have a second by Alderman Wildridge. Discussion?
Full disclosure, I have zero to do with this city bar. This is not me. I can, oh God, I don't want to even get back into that. But this is the same owners as Maurice, and they just opened one in Eunice also. They used to have one in Lafayette and Baton Rouge also. So it's the same owners as Maurice City Bar that everyone knows. And it's at Martin's, the old Martin's building. Yes, ma'am.
Just to say, I got a text from Matthew, and they're looking at the weekend before Rice Festival getting open. So, and that is his daughter and son-in-law that will be running that.
They've done a lot of work in it. If you look at their Facebook page, they've done a lot of work in there and changed it up. But they're leasing the building. But I did meet with them, but I just want to put that out there. I have nothing to do with it.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor, for that disclosure. Okay, with no other discussion, all in favor? Any opposed? And Mr. Reggie abstains. Okay, motion carries. And the last item is a renewal for a 2025 Class A retail beer permit for Mr. Gaddy's Pizza, Geeland Development Incorporated. Location is 2218 North Parkinson Avenue. I have reviewed the application. It indicates that the late fees have been paid, and everything appears to be in order. And I so move for approval. We have a second by Alderman Wildridge. Discussion? Mr. Reggie, you have a question?
Is there a reason why the girls, I guess, and whoever's in City Hall that take all the licenses, they should have a list of, I mean, this is what, the third or fourth one this year that was late. So couldn't, like, around January 15th or whatever, they should have a list of whoever and forward that to the chief, or, I mean, it seems like an easy thing that's not being done. I
You,
don't know.
yeah, you would think that would have been in place, but it has not been in place. We recently upgraded most of our software in City Hall, from accounting to code enforcement to licensing, work orders, payroll. I mean, we've updated a lot of software, and so we'll have that capability going forward, but it just wasn't there in the past. It wasn't that as it should be.
Yeah, and I don't want to come off as saying somebody's not doing their job, because that's what it ends up looking like, because here we are in August, the renewals are getting ready to go out, and he's already doing a renewal for.
Right, they should be turned
So
in
it looks
by
bad. I
November.
just don't want it to
Correct.
look bad.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. Not to mention selling alcohol without a city license.
You'd be surprised how many occupational licenses we're finding now that aren't renewed, and, you know, it just, the system was not in place. It just wasn't in place, and I'll tell you, Chantel's pretty strict on that stuff, so it's that's why these are coming to light. We're starting to find them and make it happen.
So Mayor, when these are found to be late, your office is contacting the business owner?
They do contact them.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
they absolutely do contact them. I'll tell you, while I'm thinking about it, you know, there's a lot that has been changed and is changing, and this is an example of some of it. But for the property taxes is another thing, and that's, again, with the budget, that's things that are moving forward. It just takes time to get these things in line and moving forward. But for instance, you know, with softwares and stuff, this year for the tax sale, the city of Crowley never adjudicated any properties. It goes to tax sale, and there's fees from code enforcement fees and things, and taxes not paid, and it goes to tax sale. These are some really run-down places. Nobody purchases them at tax sale, and then they're just forgotten about. They go to tax sale again the next year. Well, this year we adjudicated 98 properties that did not pay taxes, that owed fees, code enforcement fees, and did not sell at the tax sale. And so I need to get that number. I wish I'd have that number. I didn't expect to talk about it, but it just made me think about it, what we're talking about. Many people came in and redeemed their properties that was adjudicated. I really think what was happening is our city has never held our property owners accountable for certain things. And in this case, in these cases, paying their property taxes. This year, the city held them accountable. They adjudicated the property. The city's going to take over this property if you don't pay your taxes. Now they'll pay the parish taxes. The parish has been adjudicating properties. We find that they've paid parish taxes but not city taxes. But we don't adjudicate the properties, so they don't never hear from us. A large portion of those 98 were redeemed after they were adjudicated. I think what was happening is people were used to not paying their property taxes, knowing that historically that property did not go to tax sale, and so the city didn't adjudicate it, so it just kind of, they got away with free taxes, property taxes, for who knows how many years. So again, there are things that have fallen through the cracks over and over again. That's a big one. To me, the property tax thing is a big one because there's a lot of them out there. You know, those numbers that you have in that budget reflect what the property taxes should be. And if we're not collecting, the police department doesn't get it, recreation department doesn't get their share, the fire department doesn't get their share, wastewater, street department, drainage, all of streets, they don't get their share if those properties aren't collected on. So, Mr. Reggie, you're right. It makes us look like we're not doing our job. No, I understand that. But we're uncovering it, and we're trying to get a hold of it. It's some neglect there, but we're making it.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, on the Mr. Gaddy's application, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? And Mr. Reggie recused himself from the vote. Motion carries. All right, now we'll go to discussion items. Number one, adoption of an ordinance adopting the International Property Maintenance Code. For the council members, if you would like to take a look at the code link, it can be found under the website 2024 International Property Maintenance Code, PMC. And if you follow that link, you can click on the items in the table of contents at the right-hand margin to view the various sections of the IBMC. This is something that we've been talking about over the last few months regarding putting some teeth into our ordinance. This maintenance code will not only apply to residential properties, but all structures throughout the city. In manner they should be maintained. And our city attorney, Mr. Michael Landry, is working on the draft of the ordinance that I submitted. Any discussion on that, Mrs. Marks?
Yes, I do, Brad. Thank you so
Dr.
much. And thanks our attorney, Mike, for providing this access. I did go to the site, and of course, we all want to be well informed about this. I did follow the link and to the PMC, and I also got into the IBMC, which gives us where we want to be, but there's limited access. The mayor and I discussed this earlier. Unless you have a subscription, we can't really see what we're going to be expected to change. Do we have any remedy?
So if I'm not mistaken, I think you can see it, but you can't download it. I mean, I know I was able to see certain sections of it.
I couldn't get a lot of, intel specifically. It was limited on what we could read. Maybe you're seeing, or you have printed copy
Yeah,
on it?
I have something that I just downloaded and was able to print, and it kind of gives an overview of the adoption of the ordinance, of the code, the maintenance procedures, and so forth.
Yeah, because it'll be more specific for,
Yes.
to take along, and
Sure.
we
Right.
could get hard copy on this.
I think, so were you so if you open that link on the left-hand margin, there's like a drop-down box that has the individual sections of the International Maintenance Code
I
listed?
did, it had all the little icons, and it
And
had the
if you
property.
clicked on those, you couldn't read them individually?
It gave me limited access. I signed up for something.
Oh, well.
I hope, and I don't, there's not
Well,
enough money in PayPal.
Thanks for
to
paying for
cover-
all of our subscriptions.
I think I might have, so I've got it, I might need help on that, but we need.
Yeah, I mean, I'll see if I can find a version that's printable. I mean, it's pretty
Yeah.
voluminous, so I mean, I don't know if it's, we print the
Oh,
whole
yeah,
thing, but
that's
if we
true,
can,
huh?
if we have something that we can download that's more readily accessible to
Yeah,
everyone.
we may be able to, I can try and get with Cooney and see if he has a copy of it. He may even have a digital copy of it that he would share with us. I would be surprised if he doesn't have a hard copy book of it. He showed me a stack of books about this tall for, building maintenance code stuff, but maybe I can get with him. He might be able to get us a copy or a digital copy of it.
All right, and basically that would adopt the ordinance to implement the International Property Maintenance Code. And then secondly, as you see on the discussion items, is to adopt an ordinance to amend various sections of Chapter 5 to provide for remedies and penalties, fines for code violations and other matters. And following the liquor permits in your packet, you will see just a rough draft of the proposed ordinance. And of course, the city attorney will be working on this to check the appropriate Louisiana revised statutes and so forth. And Michael, if you want to
I was talking to Brad earlier. So one of the amendments that Brad asked to make was an amendment to a particular statute. And when I actually looked to review that statute, there's an entire section under state law that pertains just to Monroe. So Monroe enacted special legislation to address blight, and again, it pertains just to Monroe, but it's an entire section of the revised statutes. So I put in a call to the city attorney actually this morning to see if, just to kind of pick his brain, see why they enacted special legislation as opposed to just municipal ordinances. I would assume there were some things that they wanted to do that state law didn't provide for or didn't allow them to do. And so they enacted special legislation to get it done. But I just wanted to kind of touch base with them, see why they did it, and frankly, just to see if it's been effective and how it's working, if there was anything they'd do differently. Because, you know, if that's something, you know, if it's effective and we can just plug and play with that and adopt a similar set of legislation or a similar set of municipal ordinances, you know, that would be a holistic revision to the code as opposed to kind of picking and choosing. And so he's supposed to give me a call back tomorrow. I'll hopefully he does, and we can see where that takes us.
Thank you, Michael. And of course, we want to let our new code enforcement officer being kind of involved in that when he gets on board. All right. Any comments or suggestions, Mr. Reggie?
I just had a question. So when I was looking through it myself, I saw they had international stuff for like actual building and plumbing and all that. Is that automatically, I guess if somebody wants to build something, they have to adhere to that already? Or do we need to adopt that too?
So most of that is, I hate looking around.
I know.
So most of that is, I feel like I'm playing peekaboo. But most of that is part of the, so a couple of years ago, they adopted a uniform state construction code. And the Uniform State Construction Code adopts the majority of those international building codes with some exceptions.
So we wouldn't have to do anything for that?
No, we're already subject to the overwhelming majority of that already.
Okay. And then did y'all start working on I guess a fee schedule for some of this stuff or violation stuff?
Yeah, it's in your packet.
It's in the packet?
Look, follow the liquor permits, you'll see 3 pages.
Okay, I'll look at it.
And like I say, it's just a draft. It's, you know, nothing permanent that can't be changed or amended.
Yep.
Mr. Lachele.
Thank you, Chair. Mike, this is a question for you. If we plan on possibly piggybacking against Monroe's legislation and everything, is that going to be specific just to Monroe? Can we piggyback on that, or is that?
So again, I don't know why they did enacted special legislation. So in other words, it's a state statute. It's not a municipal ordinance. It's a state statute that applies just to Monroe. I'm not really sure why they did that route. I mean, all I can assume is that existing state law didn't allow them to do what they wanted to do at that time. I haven't cross-referenced it with the state laws that otherwise apply to see if that's the case. If it's not and you can't do what they did other than by special legislation, we'd have to take a similar route. But I don't see why we couldn't adopt something very similar through a municipal ordinance that accomplishes most of those same goals. That's part of the reason I wanted to kind of pick the city attorney in Monroe's brain and see what he had to say about it, why they chose that route. But
Yeah, if we study that and see that's the route we want to go, then likely we'll have to go to the legislature and Monroe and Crowley to that, to that ordinance, if that's something that we want to see. You know.
Right. And like, as you mentioned, Michael, you're going to cross-reference to see, you know, what is in there that's beyond overall state law, if you will.
Just to kind of, so there's a section, it's in Title 33, I don't know what chapter it is, but it's Section D. We've already adopted that. So that's part of, our municipal ordinance is adopted by reference that entire chapter or section of that chapter of the revised statutes. What Monroe did is formed D1, which is their own little version of D. And again, I don't know why they did that. Maybe D that we have covers most of the bases that we want covered. Just have to kind of cross-reference them to make sure.
That makes sense. Okay, any other questions? Oh,
So,
Buddha?
just for clarification, this topic at your LMA conference must be big, correct?
Must be what?
Must be a big topic on blight properties.
Oh, it's been for some time.
Okay, for clarification, under Section 2 definitions, dilapidated buildings, under Chapter 5, Article 3, a fire hazard. My question is it the state fire marshal that's going to declare that a fire hazard, or is it going to be the Crowley Fire Department to declare that as a fire hazard? That's a,
So it's not particularly clear. There is a provision in our ordinances, I think further down, that says that if the state fire marshal declares it a fire hazard, it's a fire hazard. I don't know that that's the only means of declaring it a fire hazard. I mean, the definition is a fire hazard, but they don't go further than that to define what a fire hazard is.
can we check and see if the Crowley Fire Department can determine if it's a fire hazard? And if it is,
Do you want to determine, or do you not want to determine?
I do. No, I do. And if it is,
He do.
if it is, there's a class being offered in Shreveport dealing with fire hazards in your municipalities or in your fire districts. So there's a lot of homes. Actually, there's some businesses that I done told my guys, if it's on fire, you're not making an interior attack because your life is worth more than that piece of property. So, yes, I do want to be able to determine it if it's a fire hazard.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Chief. Step?
Buddha.
Buddha, Step has a question for you.
What's the date on that class? I got a call on that last, I didn't write it down.
It's in the office, in the email.
Is that open to city council members? Is that
Microphone.
open to city council members?
I'm not sure.
Maybe something we need to know.
It was, directed towards me, and I took it, but I'll bring it up at the time I was on the board.
It's a class given by the National Fire Academy, more directed to fire officers and fire administration. That's the way I understand it, because you have to have prerequisites to be able to attend. You got to have firefighter 1, firefighter 2, and I think you got to have safety officer 1, if my recollection from the email, which I got all that.
So I can't go to that step. I ain't got firefighter 2. I got firefighter 1 in office though.
Yeah, but understand what I'm saying, when the person calls me, it's something, even though we can't participate in the roundtable discussion, it's something we need to know. I mean, we all have places like that in our district, okay? Because that was one of the things I brought to the LMA about the blighted property. And Chief, to your question, that has always been the response of the police chief. When you go out and see something as what we call a nuisance, that's what we have voted on, Jeff. You remember that was a while back. We gave the police chief the power to go ahead and decide whether that was a nuisance or not. And I don't know if it's gonna change or what have you, but something needs to be done. We got some of these structures over here. They talk about the animals flying. I don't see people walk through the backyard and animals flying, you know? So I would think, even though we can't participate in the actual roundtable discussion, it's something that we need to go to just to learn the different approaches to what we're looking at in our district. So, Mayor, I definitely would like to attend. I mean, even though we can't, like know and understand, you know? So, I mean, just bring back the information for everybody. once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Step.
I appreciate you giving it to us.
Okay, without any further discussion or questions, the committee closes.
Thank you, sir. Let's see, public buildings, Alderman Woolridge, please, sir.
Public buildings convene Monday, August 11, 2025, 5 p.m. in the council's chambers. We had a quorum. Under reports, none. Under action items, to approve the city of Crowley to co-sponsor Paulette Paul's Miss Christmas pageant on November the 1st and 2nd, 2025, and allow the use of the Rice Festival building free of charge aside for cleanup fees. Paulette Paul's is a nonprofit tax-exempt organization that raised money for St. Jude. Motion carried and I so move.
I think I'm on the council, I second on the committee.
It was offered by me, second by Mr. Leger. All in favor? Opposed, you got the same right? Motion carried. Number 2, to approve partial payment number 9 for Parks and Pavilion project to Prestigious Construction Group LLC in the amount of $81,861.98. Motion carried and I so move. By Jeff. It was motion by me, second by Mr. Dorey. All in favor?
Discussion, I got some discussion.
Opposed, you got the same right? Motion carried. Discussions?
Yes, I have, if I may.
Seen anything, Roy? No. Somebody put in the newspaper about the rainy days. They had enough rainy days to start a new year. You know, now I'm gonna give it to like it is. Okay, where is their so-called what do he call himself? He's not an engineer. What does he call himself? Architect?
Contractor or
Well,
architect?
no, I want
Oh,
the
the
one
architect?
that's given permission to ask for money.
The architect? Yes,
Okay,
sir.
he needs to be in front of this council on Tuesday. And I hope that everybody agree with this. Byron, I don't know if I'm on your committee or not, but I'm just, it's to a point now where we're starting to be the laughing stock of, someone asked me, Mayor, I don't know if because I told him to come talk to you. He asked me, said, well, man, isn't something going on in Crowley? I said, yeah, something going on in Crowley. He said, well, y'all ought to be getting the Economic Development Award this year. I said, I doubt it, but he said, well, it's been going on for a few years now. I said, yeah, it's been going on, okay? And he said, well, I hope y'all get it. I said, well, chances are we ain't, and chances are we didn't. Listen, when is the Rice Festival? In October?
Yes, sir.
All right. We in what?
October 17th, 18th, 19th.
All right. So they're supposed to have a building up at that time where we can.
October 3rd is the
All right.
substantially completion date.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to that day.
Me too.
All
Me,
right. With
me
all
too.
due respect, and I don't know if I'm on your committee or not, but I'm, as a council member here, I ask that y'all don't give this person a dime until this man can explain to us. And like I said, this is what I do. I mean, it is what it is, but come on, man, you got to be serious.
And I will tell you, Mr. Byron, I don't know if y'all noticed, but some of you have noticed, you've made the comment, but there has been, I think it's 5 or 6 truckloads of metal building parts. So the metal building is actually delivered and is on site. Now, there's no slab to put it on, but the building is there. I'm just putting it out there. Mr. Wesley. Yes, they did dig the shafts and
Concrete of those.
put concrete in the shafts, yes.
For the foundation.
Yes. Me too.
Mr. Reggie?
Chad, let's just say for the worst part, it's not ready for Rice Festival. Is that fencing that's around it gonna be good enough to keep some people out of there?
Yes, so my understanding, and what I'm hopeful for is that October 3rd is substantially complete. I think that by that time, if the building is not complete, and substantially complete, you have to understand is substantially complete. It's done. It's over. It's finished. We get the keys for it. That includes sodded grass, landscaping, trees, lawn furniture, all of the things that's involved in it that's going to come, I'm expecting, after the permanent fence is there. So once the permanent fence is there, then of course that construction fence is going to be gone. And I'm hopeful that that's before October 3rd. They're going to have to fix that and make it more secure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
After you, Dick had a question.
On the way over here, I noticed the part of the temporary fencing on the Front Street was heavily
On First.
First
Yes.
was damaged.
Yes.
So they might not take a look at that.
I'll talk to them about that and make sure they do that. I'll tell you this, while we were at LMA in Lake Charles, I made a phone call. And, I received a phone call from the architect about something. And I pretty much explained how done I am. I told him that the next meeting I might be like Mr. Martin and just raise all kinds of hell about it, because I'm to that point. I don't understand why I told him, I said, I don't understand why the slab's not farmed up and poured. There's no rain. There's a drought. I mean, it's dry. There's no rain days, and it's just maybe it's too dry to work. I don't know, but I agree. But anyway, I'm pushing harder than I ever have, because it's enough. It's enough.
Mr. Landry, are they required to get COs to that building?
What's that now?
The COs, certificate of occupancy, since it's going to be a building that's going to house people.
I don't think a certificate of occupancy would apply to an open air pavilion.
Okay, well, that's what I wanted to know, because that's the question that was asked while I was in, and everybody, I know it was an off day for everybody. Just to give you an idea, we had a pretty good turnout. Jeff, Brad, and who else came? Byron, who else came to the mayor? A lot of people were saying, well, we had the meeting before that. We held the food back so they could come in. And let me tell you something, man. You remember what I told you? I said, now watch, I'm going to get phone calls. Man, about 30 minutes, everything was over with. I got, man, where's the food? I said, buddy. So according to the owner of the restaurant, they allowed them to come get the food. But and I want to thank y'all for coming. The new mayor, he got a lot going for him, but and I asked him about this company, man, and he said, man, I have no idea who that company is. I said, well, they're based out of Lake Charles. I thought they would be approved by y'all council to do work. He said, he had never heard of them.
Sulfur, but yeah.
Well,
Close enough.
Yeah,
Close enough.
You throw a rock, you can hit sulfur.
So
Yeah.
he promised me, the contractor promised me, that we'll see some action beginning here. It's going to happen. October 3rd.
Mr. Chuck.
I just have a quick question. Liability-wise, while they're working, even though it's fenced in, do we have liability if somebody got hurt inside that fencing? Because I'm going to go ahead and accept that it's not going to be done by October 3rd. I'm more worried about October 17th, 18th, and 19th, when there's 100,000 people out there. What kind of liability does the city have if they get inside that property?
So there's liability, and then there's the potential of getting sued. And those are two different things. So if someone got hurt out there, we would get sued. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, buts about it. I don't think, and we could potentially be liable, all right? Now, would there be insurance that would pick up that? Yeah, I mean, the insurance would pick it up, and then we would also have a claim against the contractor to the extent that they contributed to a condition that led us to get sued. So I don't think the liability would ultimately fall on us, but I mean, you know, if you own a piece of property and your piece of property is in a condition that presents an unreasonable risk of harm, then you can potentially be liable. So that's kind of where we stand right now. I don't think we've created that condition. That's been created. And look, I don't know that the condition right now presents an unreasonable risk of harm, but they have to take reasonable steps to cordon that off, secure it, so that it doesn't present a liability for us. And right. Yeah, I mean, there's certainly coverage there if something were to happen, but, you know, look, the fact of the matter is, in situations like this, everybody gets sued. So.
I just want to say about the fencing that Dickie brought up, that somebody crashed into that already, and they've got it tied up with police tape. I don't think that is, you know, a crime scene.
Yeah.
And you could just lean on it and fall down. They need to shore that back up. You know, it's not acceptable. It's securing the premise.
I'll talk to them about that, make sure they get
And
that
then
done.
the smoking on the premise, we talked about that earlier. When they're fooling with doping pipes, it's flammable, right, Councilman Martin? And if they're throwing cigarette butts in the receptacles, I mean, that's a liability. Will there be an explosion or something?
No, but there will be a fire, or there was a fire.
There was a fire.
There was certainly
Yeah. And it
there was a
wasn't-
dumpster fire at the
Yeah.
pavilion, so.
And then our people went out there, cost us like what?
Literally.
How much money did it cost us to go put the fire out that they caused?
Yeah. Yes, sir. 16th, 17th, 18th. Okay. On October 4th? Okay, yeah. Indeed.
Any more discussion on public business?
Mr. Byron, I want to update everyone. It looks as though it is complete. I need to go on the inside and look, but the Martin Luther King Center, and it really looks good. It came out, I was concerned about what color the metal should be, and I got with the contractor, and I think it's the same color as the metal portion on the backside of the Opera House. But it really looks good. If you go by Martin Luther King Center, the windows at the top on both the north and south side of the building have been, they put a insulation, and then they put metal over the windows to prevent the water from going in. They redid all of the gutters and downspouts, and replaced the 4 exit doors, the 2 on the south side and the 2 on the west side, so that they close and operate and open as they should. So one of the doors is in the game room, one of them's in the kitchen, and the other 2 are in the gym area. The bleachers are still scheduled to come in. Zach, was that October or November? November 10th. So the new bleachers, they've been ordered, they just got to build them, so they're in the process of building them, so. Oh, the paper on the wall, yeah. Yeah, well, I think they put it up there for their graduation. I really want to try and paint that wall, where those bleachers are going to go, so we'll get to that.
No votes, discussion, public business recess.
Thank you, sir. Insurance and Personnel, Alderwoman Marks, please.
Thank you, Mayor. The Insurance and Personnel Committee convenes. We do have a quorum. At this time, we have no reports or no action items. We did have the insurance fair. I think everyone got taken care of last week. If you have any discussion on that, is there Any discussion about that? If there's none, then the committee closes.
Thank you, ma'am. Community Economic Development, Alderwoman Chasson, please.
Thank you. The Community and Economic Development Committee will come to order, and there is a quorum present. A couple of things just in reporting. There's nothing to report with the City of Crowley's Tourism Director. For Crowley Main Street, the staff will attend Destination Downtown. That's a conference that includes Main Street directors and board members from Louisiana, Mississippi, and Arkansas. That's September 10th through the 12th. One of the Haunted History Alive programs will be on September 26th. There's some others planned, and those dates will be forthcoming. The Kids' Day on Main Street will be on Saturday, September 27th, from 9 a.m. until noon in downtown Crowley. Volunteers are welcome. Contact Amber or Hank at the Main Street office in City Hall. Acadia Parish Chamber of Commerce, Friday, August 29th, tentative time is 8:30 a.m. The certified site announcement celebration at the Foster site. That's just east of Crowley, south of I-10. More information will come regarding that. Wednesday, September 10th, community update at Oshner Acadia General Hospital. 7:30 a.m., breakfast and networking. At 8 to 9 is the program, and seating is limited. I'm assuming that you have to register with the chamber to attend that. Friday, September 12th, Acadia Quarterly Q3 Women in Leadership is at the Grand Opera House in the ballroom on the 3rd floor. Doors open at 9:30 a.m. The program will be from 10 until 11. The Crowley Garden Club is in recess until September. There'll be some things coming out after that. The West Crowley Beautification Committee. Dr. Rezora Proctor notes that they are putting emphasis on cleaning up not just the parks in West Crowley, but throughout the city. This is a big job, and they are recruiting others to help with this. The Crowley Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority has recessed their programs, and there will be more coming from them in the fall. And the public is invited to attend the 80th anniversary of the Acadia Parish Library. That's going to be held on Friday, September 5th at 10 a.m. at the library. There are no action items. Are there any other discussion items? If not, the committee will recess.
Thank you, ma'am. Let's see, who's next? The caboose. Revenue and Finance, Alderman Lachelet, please.
Thank you, Mayor. The Revenue and Finance Committee convenes. We have a quorum present. We have no reports to be read out. No action items. Under discussion items, you have noticed that the mayor and Tess have both handed out the overview of the projected budget to be looked at next month or next week, and then also a detail of that overview of the budget. Any other comments?
Dickie, I want to thank the council. Obviously, this proposed budget that you have tonight, as you noticed, it was still warm to the touch, so it was literally hot off the press, is different than the one you got last month, and for obvious reasons. But I do want to thank each one of you who came by, who called, who sat with Chantel, who sat with me, went over different aspects of the budget to help make it what it is. Also, the department heads, we had a meeting, I had a meeting with the department heads, and they all were able to be team players and help out with tightening belts and getting things together. Yeah, yeah. It was a full day. I bought pizza, and they all ate pizza for lunch because it was a full day of discussion of what we were going to do with the budgets. But we got it done. Christy will actually be here next week to answer any questions and help explain the process and how we got to where we are today. But I know the big concern, which was obvious why we gave it to you to help out, and the big concern is the 26 adopted fund balance, or proposed fund balance, and that is now at 1.646 million instead of the 60,000. So it was obvious that there was still some work to be done on the budget. By the way, that's not all cuts. We didn't find $1 million in cuts. But the departments did cut a bunch. There's essentially no capital outlay in this budget. That's going to require department heads to either continue to Band-Aid some of their broken products, machinery and equipment, or come to the council and ask for extra expenditures throughout the year in the event they need, any capital outlay spending. So, of course, any questions or concerns, come on by. We're happy to visit. Yes, sir, Mr. Martin.
To all the department heads, the new ones or what have you, I got to remember, the budget is fluent. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna go up and down with it. I know there's a lot of questions. I've had people call me and ask me questions. It's fluid. It goes up and down. The council has the power to help out if the money's there. You know what I'm saying? So even though it looked like it's at the bottom of the pool, we can always add water. Because remember, the rising tide floats all ships. So just want to get that in. This is your first budget.
This is the first budget that
Right.
we've had good numbers with,
Right.
and actual numbers that we could work with. The first budget, so as you know, this term that we're all in, I walked in the office January 3rd, and walked into what was an audit.
Exactly. We know what you went into. We know what you went into.
And it literally, the auditors were on the verge of saying that the city of Crowley's
Bankrupt.
finances were unauditable.
Yeah.
I heard that word come from their mouth. And I felt I knew what that was, but I wanted to ask. I said, what do you mean? And they said, well, we can't gather the information. We don't have, or the city doesn't have the information to provide to us to be able to audit the books. We cannot audit them. A lot of work went into it, and they were able to do the audit. That September of that first year was time, or August was time to present a new budget to adopt. And, well, we didn't have new numbers, so we just copied and pasted the old numbers, and we adopted the budget that Chantel feels as though was off of numbers when she was here the 7 months previous administration. And then the next September, which was last September, we were able to kind of get a little more feeling of the numbers. And so I'll say maybe it was a partial budget then, kind of a mix of copy and paste and guesstimation. But this one is the first one that we actually have good audited numbers, good records. They can go back into the system. Now, currently, we're still working off of 2 accounting systems, not working off of, for the budget purposes and accounting purposes. Once this budget is adopted, we're going to actually take, not we, they, Chantel and Christy, are going to actually take the old software information and incorporate it into the new software, so that everything is there. So there's still, again, this software nightmare stuff, Sammy, has been, you can, I know I've said it a lot, but it is impossible for me or Chantel or even Christie, the CPA, to explain the depth of the lack of accounting that we walked into. And so it just took a lot of time and a lot of effort to get it right, but we're there. I cannot thank those two ladies enough. No way on this earth could I have done it without them. So they deserve all the praise and thanks, because they worked their tails off to do it. And they're very knowledgeable in the field, so that certainly was a positive, so.
Okay, well, thank you, Mayor, for your comments. Thank you, Mr. Martin, for your comments, especially the part of saying whether the funds are available or not, which is very important. So,
The if word.
Councilman Ashby.
I just wanted to say, I had the pleasure of sitting in that meeting, and he said that it was a full day, it was 8 hours, but what he didn't say, it took 7 hours just for police and fire to get past their part. The rest of the department heads only took 15 minutes.
Wesley was sitting in there and he said, "Hey, can I go next? It's gonna be quick," he said.
But I would encourage anybody that's never really went and sat through the entire budget with the department heads to do it. It was a learning experience for me, and I've been in business my whole life. So I thank them for letting me be a part of it, and I won't forget it for sure.
Okay, well, thank you. Well, with nothing else, Revenue and Finance recess.
Thank you, sir. Y'all have a good night, and hopefully we'll see y'all before next week, but we'll see y'all next week.